Hey, Ronaldo Mace here with Real Man, Real Leaders. Welcome back to our podcast. We had to take a break there for a bit. Had a lot going on within the organization, but now we're back. And by the way, I want to thank a couple of sponsors previous sponsors, Golden Plains Credit Union and Commerce Bank. They were gracious enough, sponsored a couple of our podcasts, so we're very much appreciative to them. And if you're interested, your business, organization, whatever it may be, if you're interested in sponsoring a podcast, we'd be glad to tell the folks about who you are, your services, your products, whatever you're involved with. We'd be glad to talk about that. So if you're interested, you can call me at 785-230-6388 or call Edgar Mesa, our marketing manager, at 620-260-2041. Today we have a very special guest, a good friend of mine, a young man that is rising up through the ranks and asserting himself as being a leader within our community, and that is Derek Ramos. Man, I almost forgot his name. It's shame on me. I was thinking of another person. I was thinking of your name, Edgar. I don't know why, but anyway, Derek Ramos is here with us today. He's the assistant city manager, and we're going to let him talk about his life, his story. That's what these podcasts are all about. And we hope to bring in not only local leaders, but leaders across the state, and also our young boys, and hopefully young girls. We're hoping to start a program for the girls this school year, and that should be big. So I think the more people give them a chance to tell their story, the better world this would be, and we need to do that more often. So that's what we're here to do. Hey, welcome, Derek. I'm glad to have you, man. This is a special for me because you know how much I think of you, and I'm glad you're here from Garden. You're not from Garden. Where are you from? And
so I was actually born in Garden. Grew up in Western Kansas. Grew up in Lakin. But I actually spent a lot of time here in Garden growing up. My aunts and uncles and cousins all lived here. Spent a lot of time over there on Taylor Street across from Buffalo Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Had two aunts live.
I went to school there, by the way.
That's where I learned to play basketball against my older cousins and that little playground right there. So
yeah. And so you're actually from Deerfield then, right?
Lakin.
See, I'm screwing up already.
Mm-hmm.
But Lakin.
Mm-hmm.
And now your family resides here. Tell us a little bit about your family.
Got a huge family. My dad comes from 13 brothers and sisters.
Wow.
And my mom comes from 8. So I have over 40 first cousins.
Wow.
Yeah, it's whether
that's huge.
The Perez's, the Ramoses. Then we also have the Burnbecks as well on the other side.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And your immediate family, though, now, your wife?
Yep, my wife. I have a wife of 10 years, coming up on 10 years pretty soon. And then 3 little boys, all under the age of 7.
That's amazing. Amazing. Well, I tell you what, we're glad to have you here in Garden City.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Okay. And we know that you've done other things previously to go on to work for Garden City. What else did you do before you went to work for the city of Garden City?
So I've actually been a jack of all trades, have been all around different industries. I started off as a financial advisor as soon as I graduated college. I was with Northwestern Mutual Financial Network, and then I went over to Edward Jones and passed my Series 7 license and Series 63. So I was a financial advisor for a while, but if you remember, I think I was 21 when in 2008 when the financial crisis happened. So you can imagine young guy at your door knocking, asking you to, hey, trust me to
tough time.
Money. Yeah,
tough time.
It was a tough time. So I transitioned there, went into construction management. Was a project manager for a while for some construction company, and then transitioned from that into higher education. Got a phone call from one of my good friends. Dr. Ryan Ruda asked me to come look at a job, an opening at the community college. And that's my alma mater. So from high school, I went to the Garden City Community College, played basketball there for a while. And my advisor there was Dr. Ryan Ruda, who is now the president.
Yeah, Ryan's a great guy and doing some great things over at the community college.
Oh, it's amazing.
And so that is awesome that you had an opportunity to work for him.
Mm-hmm.
He, I think, runs a good show over there, has just good people all the way around.
Absolutely. He's built a really neat and engaging culture.
Right.
I think he's a tremendous leader who, leads like a servant leadership.
Yeah.
And is there to serve the community. And he's done a great job.
You know, you hit on something that's exactly right. That's what we try to teach our boys too, is just be a leader through servant leadership. Learn how to serve other people before you assume that role of being a leader. And that's something we strive to do with our young boys.
I mean, he's got a great saying, the Ubuntu. I know he's taken it from others, but it's we are, or I am because we are. And so, say that again. It's an African proverb. So Ubuntu is what it means.
Ubuntu.
Yeah. So you'll have to bring.
See, you learn something all the time.
You have to bring him on the show and have him.
Oh, we'll have him on the show.
Yeah,
we're going to have him on the show.
Great.
He's in the lineup.
Yeah, good.
His name's on the list.
If I can volunteer him for stuff, I do it.
Well, that's awesome, man. What made you decide to go to work for the city of Garden City?
So that was a really hard decision for us. My family, we were very happy at the Garden City Community College. We were having a big impact. We felt on all these students coming in. I was in the president's cabinet. I was right there with one of my favorite leaders that I've ever been around, whether in my personal life or my professional life with Dr. Ruda. But I looked at the city opening and I thought, I could have a bigger impact on a community that has given my family so much.
Yes.
My grandfather, migrated from Mexico in the 1920s, worked on the railroad for 40 years. He had, like I said, 13 children that became nurses, college professor. 4 of them got drafted into Vietnam.
Wow.
So they all had children, and we've been so welcomed here in this community and given that, the opportunity for life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness.
Absolutely.
So when the opportunity arose that like, hey, I have a chance to be in a position where I can give back to this community that's given my family so much, but also in an opportunity to where the place that's given us, I can get in there and make it a better place for these future generations that are coming, and my children.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, you're a role model for our young guys for young people, period. Someone to look up to, and that's why we have you on. We wanted you to tell your story, and what did it take for you to be where you're at today? I know there's sacrifices.
Right.
There's got to be some discipline. It's just a variety of things. Things aren't easy.
Right.
I mean, I'm a little older than you. I know things aren't easy.
Right.
Okay. So share with us.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that I would really tell the youth that's coming up is that you can't do it alone. No one's ever done anything alone. I've had a lot of help along the ways, and it's tough. It's hard. I feel like I look at them, these kids and real men, real leaders, and I feel like I was one of them. I'm so thankful and lucky to have that huge family that give me that positive male role models.
Yeah.
Whether it be my father or my uncles that served in the military. But then my older cousins, we all held each other accountable.
Right.
And that was the biggest thing. But I know a lot of my friends that I grew up with didn't have those positive male role models. They didn't have that support system that if they did take a step down the wrong path, that they were corrected right away. So trying to be that for them, and understanding that mistakes are going to happen. You're going to make a mistake, and that's okay.
That's how you learn.
Right. That's life.
I mean, we tell our boys, if you're not making mistakes, then you're not growing.
I agree.
But if you make mistakes, make it right.
Right.
Own
it.
Whether it's failing a test or hurting somebody.
Right.
So you're absolutely correct, and I'm sure discipline played a huge part, because again, if you're not disciplined and you don't do things a certain way and consistent, you're not going to make it.
Absolutely. In anything, right?
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do, if you want to be a doctor or a teacher,
anything,
lawyer,
right,
or whatever. I think for me, a big part of discipline came from sports.
Yes.
I was super involved in sports. Basketball was my love, my passion, and just learning that from an early age, like being a part of a team, learning to follow is a big tool you can learn. Learning how to lose is another one.
Yes.
So I'm coaching my son's teams right now, and that's the biggest thing, right? Is teaching them, like, you have to learn how to lose. You have to be a good at accepting defeat, but at the same time understanding that failure gives you strength. And like you said, you learn from failure. You learn more from losing than you do winning.
Absolutely.
Right.
And be humble about it. When you're winning, be humble about it. You know, so many athletes, I see so many of these, both, you know, women, it doesn't matter, really put on a show and do what they do. And that's fine. Celebrate the moment, but be humble
Right.
about your success.
Right. Well, and I love winning just as much as anybody else, but honestly, I would rather lose by 1 than win by 100.
Yeah.
Just because I know I'm going to get better and I'm going to learn something in the process.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. Every day you have to get better than you were the day before. And life's hard. Like you said, life's really hard. There's going to be times in your life where you get knocked down, but you have to learn to get back up.
Yeah.
Keep moving forward.
And that's a great message for our young boys, you know, or for any child that's listening, or, you know, it really is. And we tell our boys not to get discouraged. Sure, for the moment, but you got to get over it
Right.
and keep moving forward.
Right.
You know, this world is unforgiving sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And ain't nobody always there to save you.
Right.
So you got to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and get after it. And then surround yourself. I'm sure you surrounded yourself with people who supported Derek Ramos, because we want the best for Derek.
Absolutely. And I think that if you can identify those people in your life early,
Yeah.
then you're ahead of the game. And that's the thing I was very fortunate to have, was friends that supported me, that celebrated my wins,
Yep.
and were right there to pick me up.
Those are true friends.
Yes. Yes.
Those
And
are
they're
true.
hard to come by.
They are.
They are.
Usually that's a pretty small group.
Yes.
Okay, usually pretty small. And the hardest thing, Derek, that I found out is sometimes you have to leave certain friends
Absolutely.
to get where you want to be. It's nothing that they're bad.
Right.
It's just you've got a different desire. You have a different goal
Right.
than they do. And that's what it's all about. So sometimes you got to leave friends in order to
Right.
make things happen.
Well, and the friends that want to hold you back or limit
They're there.
limit you,
Right.
Yeah, those aren't your friends. And if you can understand that, then you're going to do well for yourself.
Well, I think, you know, in life, man, because it's happened to me. It happens to all of us. I think that you get accustomed to doing certain things, or maybe going out and drinking and hanging out at the bar, whatever it may be. And then when you step outside of that, to say, hey, man, what's wrong with you? How come you're not, you know, like you're the bad guy.
Right. Right.
And really, that's not the case at all. You just want to do something better for yourself, and that's not it.
Right.
You know,
Well-
and there's nothing wrong if, you know, there's people that want to do that. That's fine. Okay. But if you have aspirations or goals that you want to achieve, sometimes you got to step away.
Right.
And I always tell my daughter, who happens to be in KU right now, she's a sophomore, Taylor, and I've always preached to her, look, you're going to have people distract you. Okay. You're going to college, and there's a lot of temptation in college. You're going to have people distract you and pull you off your road.
Right.
And if you do that too many times, you're going to fail getting where you need to be.
Right.
So you decide whether you want to do that
Right.
or go after your goal, because after you accomplish that, then you could spend time and do whatever you want to do. You'll have a little more free time. But for now, get through school. That's what you're there for.
Right.
So,
Yeah, you got purpose. Well, and it's just like with the friends, you know, the friends that tell you what you want to hear, they may be your friend, but they're more of an acquaintance.
yeah.
Where the friends that tell you the hard truth, like, hey, I want to tell you this because I actually care about it.
Yes.
I just don't want to party.
No matter if it hurts.
Right. I'm going to tell you the truth no matter what.
Yeah.
And, you know, because I actually care about you.
Yeah.
Surround yourself with those people that push you to keep moving forward. Those are the best.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's what it's all about. Share with us a little bit. I'm sure you still have, you're a young guy. Okay. And you don't have to give us any secrets or anything, but I'm sure you have goals that you'd like to attain. I know you're assistant city manager. I think you've liked this type of work, and perhaps you may be a city manager, whether it's here or somewhere else. Do you have any goals that you would like to attain?
Oh, absolutely. You know, following your example, you know, I didn't know you personally growing up, but I've heard your name and your family's name.
Yeah.
You know, following that example of being a community leader, being an
Yeah.
inspiration for this new generation coming up. That's my goal. I want to be a community leader, like city manager. Definitely, you know,
Yeah.
I definitely want to be a city manager someday. I think Matt Allen, if people understood kind of who he was and what he's done for this community, they would I know they're grateful to have him, but would be even more grateful.
Well, it goes back to that telling your story.
Right.
I worked with Matt
Yep.
for almost 12 years. I mean, we had our battles too. I didn't always agree with Matt,
Right.
but I tell you what, we made each other better. You know, and we got some things done together.
Yes.
And without him, I couldn't have gotten them done.
Right. Well, and I look at him and he challenges you. He really, as a staff, you know, I'll bring him something and he'll be like, is this your best work? And it makes you think, like, is this my best work? Could I have done better? And he's like, I just want your best work. And if it is, then go ahead and give it to me. But if it's not,
You better.
you go back. And he'll challenge you. And then I'll bring up an idea. And he will challenge that idea. Like, have you thought this through? I'm going to challenge you.
And those are the kind of people you want in your life.
Absolutely.
He's trying to make you a better
Right. He's
manager.
doing it because he's trying to look out for you in the long run. Like, hey, I don't
Right.
want you to fall on your face. So I'm going to make sure that you and I are having these conversations. It's not to be mean or just trying to tear down your work. It's coming from a good place. Like your friend, I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what you need.
Need to hear, right? Good, well said. And you know what? The thing that I've also learned as I've gotten older, Derek, is the challenges, the tough stuff. Don't run from it.
Right.
Hit it head on.
Yeah. You have to. They're always going to be there.
And it's too easy to put it off. Procrastination is one of the worst things and I found that out. And sometimes I still do it every now and then, but I have to wake myself like, hey,
Right.
get that done, Ray. You preach to your daughter,
Right.
you know, then get your crap done, man. Quit horsing around and hit it head on, no matter what it is or how hard it might be, talking to somebody or dealing with somebody or taking care of a task, get it done.
Yep.
You know,
like you said, attack it head on because it's always going to be there, right?
yeah,
Until
it's not going to go away.
It's not. It's just going to be staring at you.
And the other thing I share with our boys, and I even tell my daughter, I said, look, always do the hard thing first. I mean, it's real easy coming home, throwing your books on the table and kicking back, starting to play games, eating Cheetos, getting the yellow stain on your shirt, man, and drinking something, right? That's easy.
Right.
The tough thing is taking a quick break, maybe getting a bite to eat, and then sitting down and doing your homework or study.
Yep.
That's the hard thing.
Right.
And so what we try to drill in our young boys' minds is that do the hard thing first.
Yes.
Okay. And then I heard this one quote. I can't even remember who said it. I hope I say this right. If you do the hard things first, your life will be easy. If you do the easy things first, your life will be hard.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm glad you brought that up because I have a saying with my boys, and it's just like a philosophy that I've kind of taken on over the years that, and I've kind of stolen it from Floyd Mayweather, which is a boxing.
Yeah. He was a heck of a champion, man.
But that all hard work is easy work. So, we'll either be, doing homework, reading, doing his math. My wife does a lot of that and she'll preach to him like, hey, we got to get this done. We got to get this. My mom has been amazing with him. Again, it takes a village to raise a child. But when we're doing our workouts or we're working on basketball or football, whatever it is, like hard work is easy work. If you can fall in love with the work, if you can fall in love with that process, it's going to make your life so much easier, not just in sports, but life in general, to where you will put the work in, it's going to do wonders for you. So like, if you can get that mindset that hard work is easy, then go get it.
It's a mindset. You're absolutely working on that mindset, being repetitive, but being good at it to where it comes almost natural to you.
And if you're not good at something, well, guess what you got to do? Let's go. Let's get to work.
Yeah.
You got to get better at it. And one of the things that I've been really focused on is not celebrating outcomes too much.
Yeah.
With my children, I've been really focused on celebrating effort.
Oh, wow. I like that.
Yeah. It's a different mindset. Like, I don't want to because you're going to win and lose in life.
Yep.
And I don't want that to be the focal point. Because if you put in all this work in and you lose, that's okay.
Yep.
Falling and failing is okay. Because you learn, like you said at the beginning of this, you learn something from it.
Yep.
You get better. And that's what life is, right?
Yeah.
There's plenty of times where I failed in life, where I've failed. I didn't get the job I wanted. I didn't get the promotion that I wanted.
And then it wears on you a little bit.
Right.
But you got to get out of that stinking thinking.
Yep.
Because words are powerful, very powerful, both negative and positive. And again, there was a study done. Our kids hear way more negative words than they do positive, and therefore
become negative.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And, the other thing that I talk about, we're going to talk more about it and hopefully get some people that kind of specialize in it, but the social media thing and how it's impacting in a negative way our young people, and it's gripping them. And I've said, and I've spoke publicly, that we got to win our hearts and minds of our children back.
Right.
We got to do it. And this leadership thing, the reason we started at 5th grade is because we didn't see anybody doing it.
Right.
They need to learn now.
Right.
Not wait till they're in high school, college,
Right.
and then they're young professionals like yourself who can take advantage of leadership,
Right.
Opportunities. Okay. No, they got to learn now
Right.
at the 5th grade. And it's tough.
Yeah.
Working with 5th grade boys is tough. And we're going to hope to get the girls going. It's not easy work.
Right.
Because you got to keep them on track all the time.
Absolutely.
It seems like.
Well, and you talk about social media, like I feel like a lot of that starts at home, right?
Yes.
A lot of these kids, they don't have the family
Correct.
dynamic that, I was lucky enough to grow up
Me
in,
too.
right? So their idea of self-worth is dependent on what people on social media platforms are saying about them.
Yeah. Well
And that's
said,
the
yeah.
worst.
Yeah.
Right. Because social media is not real, right? People will put this image out there to project that they're living this kind of way.
Right. This kind of life.
And it's not real, right?
Yeah.
We know it's not real. Life can be grueling. Life can be hard. Like, you look at my family and my wife, like my wife's, I think, the most beautiful woman on the planet. And I have 3 beautiful children, but my wife and I still struggle. We still have our...
It's human.
Right.
We're
not
human.
perfect.
Right.
When you think you get married, like,
Everything's...
all my problems go away. Like, nope.
It's not like that.
Life just starts.
You're bringing another person in your life.
Right. It's
Now
a
you're
new
sharing
chapter.
stuff.
Yeah, it's a whole new chapter.
Yeah.
And then when you start having children, it's a whole nother chapter with its own ups and downs.
Yeah.
Same thing, hopefully when you get to retirement and then beyond. So it's just, life's all about valleys and peaks, right?
Yeah.
And that's what makes life so beautiful, is that the peaks wouldn't be great if you didn't have valleys.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't have that perspective, right? You wouldn't be like, man, this is so much better than this if life was just like this. So it's all about valleys and peaks and surviving the valleys to get to the peaks. So.
Well, I tell you what, anything else to add, to send a message to our because young people will be seeing this. We'll share with our young people. I know it's going to be out there on social media, but this is a positive thing. There is some good stuff on social media. Right. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we wrap up here?
I would love to tell them to ask for help.
Yeah.
Like I said at the beginning, nobody's ever gotten to where they're at successfully without help.
Yeah.
So, reach out to Ray, reach out to me, reach out to Matt, reach out to Edgar, ask for help. And it could be your teacher. It could be anybody.
Yeah.
Ask for help. I would love to help them. I would love to be a part of their lives and be a mentor. And for me, it would be great for them, like me as that little boy, I still see running up and down Taylor, going to McDonald's. Yeah. I remember K-Bob's.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
That little arcade that was by Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
That was my favorite place in the world. But
favorite hangout.
Yeah. So I remember, going to the JUCO games back in the day.
Yeah.
When they were packed.
They were fun, man.
Yeah. So I feel like I when I see them, I see me, or I see my children. So ask for help. Come to us, ask for help. You want guidance? If there's anything we can do to help.
We tell our boys that, we had, because a lot of them, you're right, they're not in the traditional family,
right?
And some of them had issues. And by the way, I want to make it very clear to the public out there, our organization is, I think there's this thinking that it's just for Hispanic boys who may be in trouble or, down on. That's not the case. Our organization's for any boy, from any nationality. We don't care what you look like, talk like. It doesn't matter what. It just doesn't matter.
Right.
This organization, this leadership that we're teaching our young boys is for any boys, provided that we have a spot, it's available to them. And hopefully, again, we're going to hope to get the girls started this year. I'm really excited about that. I know I've had a lot of women in this community. They want to help.
Yeah.
They want to help. And you can't leave 50% of the population out of what we're doing.
Right.
The girls deserve it too, and they need it.
Yes.
Our children need it. I'm telling you, it breaks my heart when I see children that are having a tough time.
Right. Well, and things like this, Real Men, Real Leaders, incorporating more youth, it's going to be so more important. The more Garden City grows, the more that this organization needs to grow.
I think so.
To support our youth.
Yeah. And we appreciate you, Derek, and the city, because Matt, has been part of the program. The past mayors have been part of the program, commissioners. They hold a leadership class for us. We'll take the boys up there to the chambers up there, and Matt's been gracious and spent time with us. And actually, when we first started, Matt was, when we asked the boys what their favorite, part of the program was, they would always say Matt. And I'm not lying about that. They'd say, love, enjoy Matt, and having that back and forth with him. And now hopefully it'll be you as well. And of course, our elected leaders, we're going to have our mayor and commissioners on. And so that they are equally important, for people to hear, especially our kids to hear from. So we appreciate you a lot. And we hope to have you back on.
Oh, absolutely. Love to come back on.
Yeah. And, just thank you so much for being with us and sharing your little, story. Not little, it's getting big now.
Yeah.
It keeps growing. So thank you so much. And again, thank you for joining us today with this podcast. Derek Ramos, Assistant City Manager of Garden City. We're going to continue to have more podcasts as we go along here. And again, if you're interested in sponsoring, or even you'd like to be on the podcast and you've got a story to share, let us know. We'll bring you on. This is what it's all about. Like I said, if every one of us had the opportunity to tell our story, I think we'd appreciate each other a little more better, and this world would be a better place. So again, thank you so much for joining us with the Real Man, Real Leaders podcast.